Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing good. So there's sad news from my side that I have lost my cousin paternal uncle to COVID-19, and henceforth I am just requesting you guys that kindly take care of yourselves and your loved ones because lockdown is over but the pandemic hasn't. So please be a responsible citizen and take care of yourselves and your loved ones around you. So coming back to today's topic is about an interesting event that's going to happen on 21st June 2020, that is on Sunday, which is the solar eclipse. So certain facts about eclipse are that it's going to start from 10:20 a.m. on 21st June 2020 and gain its peak around 12:02 p.m. and will end around 1:49 p.m. So that will be the entire duration of the eclipse. Whereas it's happening in the sign Gemini, that it's happening in Gemini Rashi and in Mrigashira Nakshatra, that is constellation. So these are the certain facts about the eclipse. Now, what I am here to tell you is that whenever we study astrology, okay, so there are basically parts of astrology, like the parts are Siddhant, okay. In Siddhant that is about the factual things, that is the astronomical facts and universal facts, the cosmic facts, which are basically constant, that comes under the Siddhant aspects of astrology. The other aspect is Hora, where we study the individual kundli of the person and predict things about him or her and the respective events which will going to happen in person's life. The third aspect of astrology, which we study in mundane astrology, is the Samhita part of astrology. Samhita part of astrology tells us about the events that will going to happen globally, around the world or over the particular group of population, okay, like the countries, states and things like that, and the events related to the group of people. When we talk about in general, like events that are, the pandemic as COVID-19 is going on, and also the natural calamities like earthquakes, tsunamis, and things like that, it comes under the part Samhita of astrology. So that is what we are dealing in. So when we talk about the eclipses as such, so these also comes under this part of astrology, that is Samhita part of astrology, because its effect is not on particular individual, okay. So this is something which I really want to make you guys understand, that whenever we talk about eclipses, people get scared. They say that, okay, this eclipse gonna affect you like that, and especially when like this eclipse, it's happening in Gemini sign and in Mrigashira Nakshatra. So people who are born under the Gemini ascendant, and that too in Mrigashira constellation, those were people will start getting scared of the fact that, oh God, the eclipse is happening under this sign. But it's not true. It's really rubbish. I'm sorry I'm being blunt, but that's the truth. It's not like that. Things never go like this, okay. Whenever the eclipse happens, it happens due to the sun or moon respectively coming in exact conjunction with the Rahu Ketu axis, okay. And Rahu Ketu are all about transformation, the change or the evolution, okay. So whenever these eclipses occur, things transform, things change, things undergo evolution. Now, whether this transformation, change or evolution is going to be negative or positive, that entirely depends upon individual's personal horoscope. Okay, you cannot say that if so-and-so eclipse is happening in so-and-so sign, so the person who is born under this sign would have havoc in his or her life and would be suffering miseries. No, it's not that. Okay, it's not always that. So I'm not saying that eclipses have to be positive or eclipses have to be negative. They are basically, see, these are universal things, okay. We have studied in our third standard that there is sun, there are planets revolving around sun, now then there are moon, and there's moon revolving around earth. So planets are in constant motion, and their motion you cannot control those, okay? So they have to come, they have to cross the path, okay? They are revolving around each other in a certain ecliptic path, and whenever they're doing so, they have their paths would cross each other, and whenever that would happen, eclipse will occur. So that is something very universal. That's what I will say, and this is how you should consider these. Don't consider eclipse as, you know, as something dreadful. I think eclipses are beautiful things, and you should consider them yet another, you know, amazing thing that's going to happen, and yet another beautiful opportunity for you guys to sit back, relax yourself, and reconsider what you have been doing till now, and are there something you need to mend, or maybe you should correct your deeds, whatever you're just doing it. So I think these are the times when you should pray to that Almighty that please take care of ourselves and take care of our loved ones. And instead of creating this superstition things and talking rubbish about the fact that, oh God, eclipse is happening and now something bad would happen, I think no, you shouldn't be doing that. And all you can do at this point of time is trust your guts and pray to God. That's what I do, and that's why I'm saying that, because I don't say something which I don't mean, and even you should do that way, because that's how you would break this myth of eclipses are always bad. Okay, so I think I have given enough lecture, so let's come back to the main thing of this video, that is the repercussions or the impacts this eclipse would going to happen on the group of population where the effects are majorly seen. So basically the effects are majorly seen in India, China, Japan, Middle Eastern countries, and parts of US. So these are the countries which would be having the most impacts of this eclipse. So since it's happening in Gemini sign, so we have to see that what Gemini as a sign signify. Okay, it signifies air. It's a dual sign, and Mercury, which rules the Gemini, it's basically an ever wanderer sign. So the thing which can be concluded with this is that you might observe certain kinds of airways obstruction, like we may face in future, we may face air incidents, air crashes, or the sales and usage of airways, air traffic basically would reduce. It's already been reduced due to COVID-19, but it will further get reduced because of this. And also, since Mercury also signify the media, the actors, actresses, singers, artists, and all that, there is possibility that you may hear some bad news from the people from the industry side. Now, when I talk about this, I don't talk about actor, actresses, and I don't talk about probably you would hear a death from the Bollywood industry or industry as such. I'm not talking about the death, but some bad news or some illnesses can be seen in that industry, or it may be a possibility that some celebrity may get exposed. This can also be seen. And the other thing, since Mercury also represents the ministers when we talk about planetary cabinets, according to Hora Varashara, so Mercury also represents ministers. Okay, so there can be certain kind of transformation or change in the political arena of a country. So that particular thing can also be seen, or maybe fall of a party, or some bad news can be heard in future due to this eclipse. So this is what I can see that it can happen. Next thing which I would like to tell you, that whenever eclipses happen, so we just see how much percentage of eclipses going to happen, and accordingly we predict that the results of that eclipse would be seen in 3 to 6 months, or 6 to 9 months, or 9 months to 1 year. So whenever eclipse happen, if it's happening like 30 to 40%, its result can be seen from 9 months to 1 year after the eclipse is happening. And if it's like 60 to 70, you can experience the results within 6 months to 9 months. And whenever it is basically 80 to 90 or beyond, you may see its results within 3 months. So since this eclipse is almost 90%, around 90%, it's possible that you experience its results within 3 months. And especially when Rahu Ketu axis would shift from Gemini and Sagittarius to Taurus and Scorpion at the end of September end, and Rahu being transiting in Rohini Nakshatra, that would be the period of maximum tension for India, both externally and internally. Externally, we may face border conflicts, not only in relation to Indo-China, but also in relation to Indo-Pak. So that is main thing which can be seen due to this eclipse as a bad repercussion of this eclipse. Other thing which is possible, that with this external conflict, there can be communal tensions brewing inside the country, and that time, the September end, would be very crucial for India as far as this eclipse is concerned. And also, the ascendant Lord Mercury gets retrograde in 10th house, and along with this, the Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus, these planets are also retrograde. So whenever this happens, especially during an eclipse, there is a loss of sense of humanity. So that is something which can be seen. There would be, more crimes, more loots, more thefts. These things could be seen at the end of September. That is the most prominent time, I would say. These are things as far as the calamities are concerned. I think the water-based calamities can be seen in future within these 3 months, and especially ones which would be responsible for hampering the crops. Sort of floods, not even floods, but sort of a calamity, a natural calamity, which is basically water based. That is something which can be seen. One thing which is very important, and I wanted to address in this video, that many people are saying that this eclipse would be very devastating because of the fact that it's somewhat similar to the one which happened in 2001, just before the 9/11 attacks of the USA. So I wanted to tell the difference between the two, and I wanted to convey this point that it is not that dangerous, because now I'm saying that people are comparing these two, because same on the same day and around the same degrees, this eclipse happened in 2001. So that's why people are saying it would be that much devastating. But why I'm saying it would not be that much devastating, because in that eclipse, Rahu was in Ardra Nakshatra. Okay, and in this eclipse, Rahu is in Mrigashira Nakshatra, number one. Number two, when that eclipse happened, Rahu was transiting over the main sensitive point of the eclipse, that is 6 degrees 13 minutes, which is the degree of the eclipse which would happen on this 21st June. The eclipse would happen at 6 degrees 13 minutes. So in that eclipse, which happened in 2001, what happened was that Rahu was transiting over that sensitive point of eclipse. Whereas if you see in this eclipse, Rahu has already passed and it's at 4 degrees, whereas the eclipse is happening in 6 degrees 13 minutes. So that's why it is not that devastating. one more point which is very important in in this eclipse is that many malefic planets such as Mars and Saturns, they are not transiting over the sensitive point of this eclipse, which were transiting over the sensitive point of eclipse in the eclipse of 2001. So these are certain differences which are very important and which I really wanted to tell you guys that please don't get feared, okay? That this would be highly devastating eclipse and things like that. And one thing which I always tell people that see this eclipse, okay? People used to, in our ancient times, people were so fond of eclipses that whenever they wished to have something, they used to wait for eclipse, because during the eclipse the cosmic vibrations are so strong that whenever or whatever you wish for and you pray for, the things get manifest quickly. So I believe in that. And even though there are negative repercussions of eclipses, but still, if you are clean in your heart, if you know that yes, I am doing my karmas properly, I'm not doing anything which is unethical, and my conscience is clear. I think if you pray with that heart to the Almighty during this eclipse, your wishes would certainly get manifested. So I always tell people that, especially during the eclipse, sit and relax yourself and pray to that Almighty that please take care of us and our loved ones, and especially during this time when things are already going haywire. I think prayers are the only thing which are under our control, and I think we should purely and solely rely on these, because we don't have anything in our hands apart from this. So with this, I would like to wrap up my video, and I think that you guys like this video. If so, then please subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends, and smash the like button. Also hit the bell icon down there so that you don't miss any update from my side. I shall see you guys soon in my next video. Till then, please take care of yourselves, and yes, take care of yourselves.